Hey guys, how you doing? Uncle Bob here once again with another video, and today we're going to be doing the review of the Expendables 4 movie DVD review. And obviously Expendables 4 coming from the Expendables movie franchise, the fourth instalment. And it was released, I can't remember, it was September, I think it was last year. Not long ago, about 4 months ago or so. And yeah, I did see it at the cinema. I only just watched it. I watched it on Saturday, just gone. The first time I watched it, so it was the first time, and obviously probably see it again some other time. And yeah, so there's going to be my review in it. So yeah, Expendables coming from the fourth one. And the last one was, I think the last one was 2014. I think it was quite a while, so it's been probably too long, to be honest. I was expecting the other one to be sooner, but I think it's development hell, just wasn't going to happen, and then yeah, problems with the cast. But anyway, yeah. So this obviously stars the usual two that's been in all the other things. Jason Statham, the Stath. Then obviously the legendary Sylvester Stallone. He's been in tons and tons of films, and obviously one who started this Expendables whole deal. And then obviously now 50 Cent is in this. Megan Fox, Dolph Lundgren, the legendary Dolph Lundgren, obviously. And then a couple of other people. Randy Couture and Andy Garcia. And so yeah, now where do I start with this? First of all, it's not great, to be honest. It's certainly not as good as the other couple of Expendables, which I actually think first one and the second one. And even a bit of the third is actually alright, to be honest. I actually quite like the second one. I quite like the pace of it, and I quite like all the action sequences. And I think it's quite a good pace, the second one. But yeah, we won't talk about this because it's not about the second one. But yeah, I pretty much like the first three, and they've got a lot of star power in terms of like cast, massive cast. Now this is not the greatest cast they've put together, considering the first couple, when you had like Stallone, Statham, Bruce Willis, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Wesley Snipes, so many legends. And this is only Statham, Stallone, Lundgren, and then the rest is all like quite weak cast. So the cast is not as strong, first of all, as the others. So there's that, which is one of the problems of it, to be honest. Now, let's just talk about the actual general. Let's talk about the general film as it is. Yeah, as I said, it's not as good as the others, and as I said, the lack of a big cast like before is one of the problems of it. And Stallone is only in it, which I wasn't aware of until I actually watched it, is only in it at the beginning for about half an hour, and until his character dies. But however, he only fakes his own death to only appear right at the end, and then come back when they realise he's not dead. So there's that issue, which it's kind of like he's sort of, if this makes sense, it's kind of like he sort of died in real life, and they've sort of had him in the film at the beginning, and then he sort of died, and then he's just suddenly appeared again at the end, sort of thing, because I sort of like filmed a bit of it, and then he sort of died in real life, and then I only had time to film the end, and not the rest of it. Sort of, kind of. That's what it felt like to me, anyway. It sort of just appeared in it only briefly, but obviously it was his. You know, he hasn't died. Obviously, it was his own decision to. Because I think the problem with this is I don't think you know, the development of this. I'm not sure if he was going to be in it at the beginning and then decided he did want to be in it, or just decided he only wanted to be in it briefly, Stallone. I think that was the problem at the beginning. And yeah, he just decided he just wanted to be in it a little bit, rather than, or whether he's just getting, you know, because he's about 77 or something now, or in that range. You know, getting on a bit now, so maybe he just decided, whether it's his own decision, you know, to do that, whether he just feels he's getting too old to run around now, or if it just felt it was best for the movie to be in it only that brief time. But yeah, that is what happens. I mean, actually, I don't think. I mean, they said about this. It had bad reviews and it was a box office bomb. It didn't do very well. When they were saying about the storyline and plot and CGI, and yeah, I would say that yeah, CGI is quite bad at times, and yeah, the plot is quite weak. Well, it's sort of the same type of plot, kind of like in the other films, and other films you've seen, quite weak. Yeah, the action. To be fair, the action is actually, you know, when it's going on, it's actually all right. To be honest, I didn't really have any issues with the action. And the CGI, alright, it's not great, but actually it's kind of like in the middle of the film where the CGI is quite bad. Then you sort of notice it's quite bad. That's why I thought it was quite bad, like sort of in the middle or towards the end, sort of CGI is quite bad. But the action itself, I didn't think was actually that bad when it's going on. You know, I like, you know, you guys know I like action and stuff. And the action scenes actually didn't seem too bad to me when it was going on. That wasn't really the issue. Yeah, I could see the other issues like the plot and stuff. But yeah, as I said, not as good as the first. But to be honest, the beginning's actually not that bad. To be honest, how it starts and sort of the pace with the action scenes. It's like the first half an hour, 45 minutes are actually not that bad. It's sort of when it goes to the middle of the film, then it's sort of like when it has problems, then it's a bit, doesn't really deliver. Then it sort of kicks into gear a little bit, and then sort of going towards the end where there's a lot of action going on, it sort of like picks up. But then overall it's got a lot of issues and problems, where it's sort of an up and down kind of thing, but it's not bad. It's just not good, and yeah, it's just not great. But yeah, I'm just look at the positives. The time is not that bad. It's not overly long where you can think, oh God, when is this going to end? Like if it's 2 hours. So I think the time is not too bad. It's not over too long, and it's not too short. So the time is okay. Stephen and Stallone being in it, well, obviously Stallone being in it a little bit is not too bad, but and as I said, I don't think it's too bad at the beginning. And for me, the action itself was actually okay. And the pace is actually alright as well, to be fair. And as I said, yeah, the action. But as I said, the negatives of Stallone only being in it at the beginning and the end is quite weak. And the cast, you know, very weak. You know, not having, you know, as many names as they used to have before. So it's very, very quite weak. It's very although it's supposed to be a big blockbuster film, it's borderline going on sort of like one of those sort of direct to DVD films starring Statham and Stallone. Sort of, it's going towards that because it's quite a weak cast. It's not as big as the others. So it's leaning towards sort of that. The negatives of that cast. Other negatives, yeah, the CGI, but mainly to me, as I said at the beginning, I don't think it's that bad. It's really towards the middle when the CGI is quite bad, you notice. And yeah, with it being a weak cast, actually, Jason Statham's very good in this. To be fair, he sort of carries it on his shoulder basically, and it's actually leading towards a sort of a solo Jason Statham film where it's supposed to be like a group, where you get most of the action scenes of previous films where it's been a group where they're taking out the villains, because Stallone obviously by the middle part and the end, Statham's on his own and he's doing it all himself basically, so fair play to him for doing that. But instead of it being a team thing, it just comes down to sort of a solo effort, and it appears to me that it's just a solo Statham film, because he's taken out all the guys on his own, and it just seems to be like it's just a Jason Statham film. It doesn't seem like it's an Expendables film with loads of cast. Then it sort of picks up in the middle where the other cast members get involved, but. Jason Statham does a lot. He's involved in a lot of stuff on his own, which is sort of the thing. Yeah, and the other thing is obviously the plot is quite weak. The other issue for me is sort of the middle bit, where the scene is where they're on a boat. It's quite strange as well because the decisions that were made in this are quite bad. They seem to have the sort of middle bit where there's an action scene, and instead of the middle bit ending and then cutting them going away and it cut into a different scene at the end, it sticks with the middle bit. So sort of like the middle bit sort of goes on a sort of end, but then they stay on the boat and then it sort of carries on towards the end, and the ending's on the same sort of setting as the middle, which is a bit strange because usually you would get sort of like the middle of the film where there's an action scene, and they go away and it's in a different setting towards the end, but that's not the case. It's sort of like an extended middle and then the ending, which was kind of bizarre, which it seems to be like it's quite lazy that they just didn't want to I wanted to film the middle and then they didn't want to film the end in a different setting. They just wanted to do it all on the same place, which was kind of strange really, because I've not seen that in many films. Usually you'd have the middle filmed at that setting, then you'd sort of have a little bit of a break, and then you sort of have the ending sort of scene filmed a different place, but it sort of didn't happen. It just sort of stayed at the middle. Middle sort of like extended the middle and then extended to the end, so it's kind of weird. Yeah, so a few bad decisions as well, which is kind of strange. Yeah, so it just has quite a lot of problems, probably more negatives than positives, to be honest, so not great. I mean, if I was going to rate it, I'd say only a 5 out of 10 really. I mean, it's maybe a 6 if I'm being generous, 6 out of 10, but not great if I'm being honest. And yeah, the cast members, it's just not strong. I mean, 50 Cent, I used to listen to his music, and to be fair, his music's far better than his acting. His acting is not great, to be honest. And I don't really recall him doing much in this, to be honest. I took out a few guys. To be honest, his acting is not great. He's not really made many good films or been in many that have been good or done much in other films. To be honest, I don't really know why he changed doing music into acting, because he just should have stuck with music, because his acting's not that great, to be honest. And Megan Fox is actually not too bad in this, actually, to be honest. Her acting is not that great. She's not been in many films that's been that great of a performance. And she's not actually that bad, to be honest. She does a little bit of work, fighting and stuff, and actually not that bad. And the other guys are quite weak. And Dolph Lundgren doesn't do much. He's involved in some action, but not a lot. But yeah, just more problems and more negatives than positives on this. But it's all right. And I do quite like the action itself, but just a lot of the other stuff I don't like. But yeah, guys, I think that's going to be my review. Probably probably longer than what I was going to do. So I'm going to wrap this up now. Hope you guys enjoy this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more vids, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, bye now, see you soon.